بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده المنتجب ورسوله المرتضى وأشهد أنكم الأئمة الراشدون المهديون المعصومون المكرمون اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
This is where we see that our kalima is not different. You know, sometimes we are told that the kalima of the Shias is different from the majority of Muslims. Our kalima is not different. Our kalima is complete. We have the Shahadatain. We say La ilaha illallah. We say Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We believe in the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the nubuwwat of the Prophet. We believe him to be the last one. We add a third statement just to further identify ourselves as Aliyun Waliullah, that Ali is the wali and the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is where the Salaf is basically used as a pretext. One of the ways they say, see, they have a different kalima. And they use that as a way of justifying killing of the Shias. What they don't realize that the Shias and Sunnis alike, even during the days of the Prophet, the Sahaba, were known to use this label or the title of Waliullah for Ali, based on the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself. But let me go to the Qur'an here. There is a story in the Qur'an, and remember I said this many times, stories of the Qur'an are not just stories. They are ways of, strengthening our aqeedah, refining our character, to learn things for ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in two places when He talks about the story of Musa alayhi salam, especially in Surah Araf, ayat number 113 to 122, where He talks about this incident where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa alayhi salam with Harun alayhi salam to go to Fir'aun. And Musa goes, shows his miracle. And when Fir'aun saw that, he said, okay, you're grown up now. You were our baby. Now you're gone 10 years or so somewhere else, learned the tricks, and now you're trying to impress us? Well, we have bigger magicians and sorcerers than you. And so the announcement was made that bring the best of the Sahara, the sorcerers, who can counter this trick of Musa. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrates the story where He says, وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ The sorcerers came to Fir'aun. قَالُوا إِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا إِن كُنَّا نَحْنُ الْغَالِبُونَ They made a deal with Fir'aun. They said, the sorcerers, okay, if we are able to defeat him, then what is the ajr and the reward that we will get? And Fir'aun says, قَالَ نَعَمْ وَإِنَّكُمْ لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ You will be among al-muqarrabeen, those who will be close to me. I'll give you a special respect and regard. And this is where, now the sorcerers turning to Musa alayhi salam, they say, Ya Musa, imma an tulqiya wa imma an nakuna nahnu al-mulqeen. Are you going to show your art first, or do we do that first? Qala, Musa alayhi salam said, go ahead, show what you can do. فَلَمَّا أَلْقَوْا سَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ وَاسْتَرْحَبُوهُمْ وَجَاءَ بِسَحْرٍ عَظِيمٍ the magicians, the sorcerers basically played their trick. And what people saw was there were snakes, moving around on the floor. People became afraid, very much impressed, and they did a great magic. وَوَحَيْنَا إِلَى Musa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, at that moment we told Musa, an alqi asak. Musa, this is the time. Throw down your asa, your staff. فَإِذَا هِيَ تَلْفَقُ مَا يَأْفِكُونَ. Then that staff, walking stick of Musa alayhi salam, turned into a serpent and devoured all those snakes, or whatever people were thinking as they were snakes. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala concludes that by saying, وَوَقَعَ الْحَقِّ. The truth was, the truth prevailed. وَبَطَلَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And whatever they were doing, their tricks, was proven to be nothing. فَغُلِبُوا هُنَالِكَ وَانْقَلَبُوا صَاغِرِينَ. And they were defeated and they became humiliated. This is now we come to this point. What has this to do with the kalima? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when this happened, when Musa alayhi salam demonstrated his miracle, it is amazing that neither for Fir'aun nor the audience, the vast majority of the people, the officials, the people, ordinary individuals, nobody did anything. The first reaction is seen by whom? وَأُلْقِيَ السَّحَرَةَ سَاجِدِينَ. The sorcerers themselves first went into sajda. Why? They were the best of sorcerers in the land of Egypt. They knew what we did was magic. We deceived people by our tricks. And they were able to identify that what Musa did was not what we do. They realized the difference. They were learned in their own field. And therefore they went into sajda, accepted the miracle of Musa alayhi salam. And how did they express their belief in Musa? قالوا, the ayat goes on, آمنا برب العالمين. We believe in the Lord of the universe. This was sufficient, isn't it? Ya ayyuha salafiyun. The ayat should have stopped here. They said, آمنا برب العالمين. But no, the Sahara, the sorcerers, the Qur'an realized, yes, we believe in God. But there is a need to identify which God we believe in. And therefore they say, آمنا برب العالمين, Rabbi Musa. Not only the Lord, but the Lord introduced to us by Musa. But then they say, well, Musa doesn't come alone. Whenever he comes, there is somebody with him. His wazir, his assistant. And therefore they felt necessary to express their iman by including him. And so the ayat says, آمنا برب العالمين رب موسى وهارون. رب العالمين is La ilaha illallah. Rabbi Musa is Muhammad Rasulullah. And adding the name of Harun is Aliyun Waliullah. There is a unanimous hadith that the Prophet has where he says to Ali, that your position to me is like the position of Harun to Musa. So for us, Muhammad is Musa of this ummah. For us, Ali is Harun of this ummah. So our kalima is exactly the way Allah has mentioned here. And if this was not something pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He would have not included that in the story of Musa alayhi salam. And so we have to understand that when we talk about Tawheed and Nubuwwat and Imamat, these are the essentials of Islam. Yes, the legal definition is anyone who says the Shahadatain is a Muslim. But in order to complete that Islam and reach to the level of Iman, you need to have that wilayat of Ali and Ali salawatullah alayhim ajma'een.